Biological classification. Feature and kingdom. Bacteria are the sole members. Kingdom Monera. Bacteria are the sole members. Kingdom Monera. All single-celled eukaryotes. Protista. All single-celled eukaryote belongs to Protista. Eukaryotic chlorophyll containing organisms. Eukaryotic chlorophyll containing organism. Kingdom Plantae. Heterotrophic eukaryotic organisms that are multicellular and they lack cell walls. Animalia. Kingdom Animalia. Heterotrophic eukaryotic organisms that are multicellular and their cells lack cell wall. Kingdom Animalia. Unique kingdom of heterotrophic organisms. Fungi. Unique kingdom of heterotrophic organism. Fungi. They directly or indirectly depends on plants for food. They digest their food and in an internal cavity and store food reserves as glycogen or fat. Kingdom Animalia. Most abundant microorganism. Kingdom Monera. Cosmopolitan and occur in air, water, soil, and on animals and plants. Fungi. Few members are partially heterotrophic, such as insectivorous plants or parasites. Kingdom Plantae. Septate are cross walls in their hyphae. Fungi. Septate are cross walls in their hyphae. Fungi. They also live in extreme habitats such as hot spring, desert, snow, and deep oceans, where very few other life forms can survive. Kingdom Monera. Their mode of nutrition is holozoic by ingestion of food. Animalia. Cells have an eukaryotic structure with prominent chloroplast and cell wall mainly made of cellulose. Kingdom Plantae. They follow a definite growth and grow into adults that have a definite shape and size. Kingdom Animalia. Show a great diversity in morphology and habitat. Kingdom Fungi. Show a great diversity in morphology and habitat. Kingdom Fungi. Chrysophyte, dinoflagellate, euglenoid, slime molds, and protozoan belongs to kingdom Protista. Chrysophyte, dinoflagellate, euglenoid, slime molds, and protozoans. Kingdom Protista. Higher forms show elaborate sensory and neuromotor mechanism. Kingdom Animalia. Higher forms show elaborate sensory and neuromotor mechanism. Kingdom Animalia. Filamentous, long, slender, thread-like structures called hyphae. Kingdom Fungi. Filamentous, long, slender, thread-like structures called hyphae. Fungi. The sexual reproduction is by copulation of male, female, followed by embryological development. Kingdom Animalia. Boundaries of this kingdom are not well defined. Kingdom Protista. The cell walls are composed of chitin and polysaccharide. Kingdom Fungi. The cell walls are composed of chitin and polysaccharide. Kingdom Fungi. Algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. Kingdom Plantae. Algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. Kingdom Plantae. Simple structure, complex behavior. Kingdom Monera. Simple structure, complex behavior. Kingdom Monera. Reproduction by vegetative means. Fragmentation, fission, and budding. Kingdom Fungi. Reproduction by vegetative, fragmentation, fission, and budding. Kingdom Fungi. Most of them are capable of locomotion. Kingdom Animalia. The diploid, sporophytic, haploid, gametophytic that alternate with each other, alternation of generation in kingdom Plantae. Diploid, sporophytic, haploid, gametophytic that alternate with each other, alternation of generation. It belongs to kingdom Plantae. Moist bread and rotten fruits. Kingdom Fungi. Photosynthetic and chemosynthetic, autotrophic and heterotrophic mostly. Kingdom Monera. Photosynthetic and chemosynthetic, autotrophic and mostly heterotrophic. Kingdom Monera. A photosynthetic to one biologist may be a plant to another. Kingdom Prodista. A photosynthetic to one biologist may be plant to another. Kingdom Prodista. Prefer to grow in warm and humid places. Kingdom Fungi. Prefer to grow in warm and humid places. Kingdom Fungi. Common mushroom and toadstools. Kingdom Fungi. Common mushroom and toadstools. Kingdom Fungi. A link with other dealing with plants and animals and fungi. Kingdom Prodista. Network of hyphae is known as mycelium. Kingdom Fungi. Network of hyphae is known as mycelium. Kingdom Fungi. Primarily aquatic. Kingdom Prodista. Primarily aquatic. Kingdom Prodista. Heterotrophic and absorb soluble organic matter from dead substrate saprophytes. Kingdom Fungi. Heterotrophic and absorb soluble organic matter from dead substrate saprophytes we call kingdom fungi. Did not find a place in classification since they are not considered truly living. If we understand living as those organisms that have cell structure, viruses did not find a place in classification since they are not considered truly living. If we understand living as those organisms that have cell structure, viruses, white spots seen on mustard leaves, kingdom fungi, fruiting bodies, kingdom fungi, non-cellular organisms that are characterized by having an inert crystalline structure outside the living cell, viruses, non-cellular organisms that are characterized by having an inert crystalline structure outside the living cell, viruses. Hyphae are continuous tubes filled with multinucleated cytoplasm, cenocytic hyphae, kingdom fungi. Hyphae are continuous tubes filled with multinucleated cytoplasm called cenocytic hyphae, kingdom fungi. Once they infect a cell, they take over the machinery of the host cell to replicate themselves and killing the host, virus. Live in association with algae as lichens, with roots of higher plants as mycorrhiza, kingdom fungi. Live in association with algae as lichens and with roots of higher plants as mycorrhiza, kingdom fungi. Being eukaryote, the cell body contains a well-defined nucleus and other membrane-bound organelle. Some have flagellar cilia, kingdom Prodista. Sexual cycle, plasmogamy, karyogamy, haploid spore, kingdom fungi. Sexual cycle, plasmogamy, karyogamy, haploid spore, kingdom fungi. Asexual reproduction is by spores called conidia or sporangiospore or zoospore, kingdom fungi. Asexual reproduction is by spores called conidia or sporangiospore or zoospores, kingdom fungi. Reproduce asexually and sexually by a process involving cell fusion and zygote formation, kingdom Prodista. Reproduce asexually and sexually by a process involving cell fusion and zygote formation, kingdom Prodista. Saprophytes, symbionts, parasites, fungi. Saprophytes, symbiont, parasites include kingdom fungi. Sexual reproduction is by oospores, ascospores, basidiospore, kingdom fungi. Sexual reproduction by oospore, ascospores, basidiospores, kingdom fungi. They were found to be smaller than bacteria because they passed through bacteria-proof filters, virus. They were found to be smaller than bacteria because they passed through bacteria-proof filter, virus. Genetic material of viruses, DNA or RNA. Genetic material of viruses, DNA or RNA. No virus contain both RNA and DNA. True or false? True. No virus contain both RNA and DNA at a time. Nucleoprotein and the genetic material is infectious. Nucleoprotein and the genetic material is infectious. Virus. Genetic material in viruses that infect plants. Single-stranded RNA. Genetic material in viruses that infect animals. Single or double-stranded RNA and double-stranded DNA. Genetic material in viruses that infect plants. Single-stranded RNA. Genetic material in viruses that infect plants, single-stranded RNA. Genetic material in viruses that infect animals, single or double-stranded RNA and double-stranded DNA. Viruses that infect bacteria, bacteriophages. Viruses that infect bacteria, bacteriophages. Genetic material in bacterial viruses or bacteriophages are usually double-stranded DNA viruses. Genetic material in bacterial viruses or bacteriophages are usually double-stranded DNA viruses. The protein coat of virus called capsid, made of small subunits called capsomeres, protect the nucleic acid. The protein coat of virus called capsid, made of small subunits called capsomeres, and protects the nucleic acid. Helical polyhedral geometric form of virus, capsomeres. Helical or polyhedral geometric forms of virus, capsomeres. Mumps, smallpox, herpes, and influenza, AIDS, viral diseases in human being. RNA of the viroid was of low molecular weight. RNA of the viroid was of low molecular weight. Mosaic formation, leaf rolling and curling, yellowing and vein clearing, dwarfing and stunted growth, symptoms of viral diseases in plants. Mosaic formation, leaf rolling and curling, yellowing and vein clearing, dwarfing and stunted growth, symptoms of viral diseases in plants. A free RNA, it lacked the protein code that is found in viruses, viroids. A free RNA, it lacked the protein code that is found in viruses, viroid. Symbiotic association between algae and fungi, lichens. Symbiotic association between algae and fungi, lichens. Phycobiont, algal component of lichen. Phycobiont, algal component of lichen. Mycobiont, fungal component of lichen. Mycobiont, fungal component of lichen. Prepare food, phycobiont. Shelter absorption of minerals and water, mycobiont. In lichen, mycobiont. Shelter absorption of minerals and water, phycobiont. Prepare food. Biggest pollution indicators in the nature are lichens, lichens. Biggest pollution indicators in the nature are lichens, lichens. Thank you.